everyone. I'm Kim Greaves. This is Jessica Ausbrook. We're from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union, and this is the Ripple Effect.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I like your top.
Oh, thank you.
Is that new?
It is.
Okay, we're like both wearing our solidarity gear.
Got our solidarity gear on.
Yeah.
I love this. This is so comfortable.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good.
Oh, thanks. You got a special guest.
Yes, we do. We have a special guest. We have Rob Pruett with us from Drug-Free Howard County. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. Honored to be here.
We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the organization that you're representing today. For folks who aren't familiar, obviously it says Drug-Free Howard County in the name, but it really covers a lot of different things.
Yeah. In 1989, Governor Evan Bayh made it Indiana code that every county had to have a substance abuse council. In 81, President Reagan did the whole war on drugs, and it is fascinating the terminology we use to deal with a mental health issue. We call it a war, which is it doesn't set it up very well.
Nope, sure doesn't.
But so what we do is that we receive funds from the courts of fines and fees that they assess individuals who are arrested for substance abuse. And then we have 4 different categories that money is divided into. It's divided into treatment or treatment intervention. So if you're doing a treatment intervention activity, prevention, education, and criminal justice, and then the last one is discretionary, which is what I'm paid out of. And then what we do, we have a proposal, a grant form on the city and the county website. Go in, fill that out. If you're doing an activity in one of those areas, you can write a proposal, submit it to us. We vet it, we vote on it, and then we fund it.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, it's and then I do a ton of things in the community, a lot of speaking, a lot of talking with kids, a lot of prevention work.
Okay, so prevention work, obviously, drugs, alcohol, tobacco. Mm-hmm. What are we seeing?
It's interesting. The good Judge Mendes was on a council for many years, and I was very concerned when the methamphetamine epidemic hit, and I wanted to do something specifically, and I remember him pulling me aside and said, Rob, you got to realize that's the drug of the month. And there's always something coming down the line. There's always a new drug, a new thing. What we're seeing now is vaping. And it is pandemic. It is not epidemic. Indiana, for whatever reason, we are always higher than national data. And our kids are vaping more here. It's just horrible. And our facilities sell it. And I was just talking previously earlier about CBD and THC, Delta 8 and Delta 10, which are derivatives of marijuana that have the same effect, and they're legal, and they're being sold in our community, and that's part of the law.
Yeah. So it does seem like little shops where they're only selling things like this are popping up lots of different places where we might not have seen them before. But going back into where you were talking about was it D8? Is that what you said? When it comes to like people doing the vaping and stuff that's not the nicotine?
Oh, the Delta 8.
The Delta 8.
Yeah,
okay, Delta 8.
Delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol is the active ingredient marijuana that gets you high.
And you can buy that?
You can't buy Delta 9, but you can buy Delta 8 and Delta 10 that are derivatives of marijuana.
Don't buy those things.
That's crazy.
No, it's way crazy.
Yeah.
And then, for the schools who are put in the middle of it, and I just want to say this off the top, schools don't have drug problems.
No.
Okay, if kids went and lived at a church for 8 hours or lived at Walmart for 8 hours, a bowling alley, it'd be a bowling alley problem. So schools get a black eye, and it's very, very, very unfair. They have to deal with it. But then when a kid gets caught vaping, how do you differentiate if there's THC in the vape or if it's just a vape?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so there's a testing kit, but it's expensive and it's problematic at base.
Okay, so this was very surprising to me because I don't think I really realized how big of a problem vaping was, especially in the schools. Somebody said that, I had an intern that said, oh, my dad sells vape detectors. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Like
What's a vape
detector?
Yeah, we have funded, we've funded some of the schools to put vape detectors up. They're in the locker rooms, they're in bathrooms, where kids congregate. But I'm being told by students, and I also run the Howard County Youth Council for Substance Abuse Prevention. I'm being told by kids in that council that when the teacher turns around and writes on the whiteboard, the kids vape, they hit it, they blow it out in the classroom, and it's a vapor cloud, and by the time the teacher turns around, it's gone. So, I mean, it's pervasive. It's incredible. We were running a alternative suspension class for kids who were caught vaping, and I remember I taught the first class, and a mother raised her hand and said, "Well, I bought my vape for my kid. I thought it was safer." And
Safer than like smoking
safer than
cigarettes?
combustible tobacco. And the problem with it is there are heavy metals, there's poisons, there's acetaldehyde, which is one chemical different from formaldehyde, which is used to embalm people. And nowhere on any of these vape packages are there ingredient lists. So it's the wild, wild west, and you have no idea. And I always tell kids when I'm talking to them, if I've really got their attention, a moment of clarity, I said, do you really want to put something in your body that you have no idea what it is?
What kind of response are you getting when you speak to the kids about this?
Honestly, I think all the time, look at me, like, you're just an old guy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just old.
Yeah,
And
they just kind of blow it off.
what I start from my presentation, I'm a recovering person. So I've got almost five decades sober of drug-free lifestyle.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that. But so I try to help them empathize with that. And one other thing I've had experience of being an addict. I also had the experience, I was a substance abuse counselor at a residential adolescent treatment facility. So I've done both the treatment side and the recovery side. So I've got a halfway decent, blend and understanding of this whole issue. But it's incredibly problematic. And I think that folks that don't get addiction can be very judgmental. For instance, in my dealing with heroin addicts, you guys know why heroin addicts continue to use? They don't use to get high. They use to avoid becoming what's called drug sick, and that's withdrawals.
Oh,
And the withdrawals from opiates are going through hell. You think you're going to die. You won't die, but you think you're going to. So most heroin addicts, because of the cellular molecular addiction that has happened, have to continue to use to keep the withdrawal symptoms from happening.
I mean, that's kind of like the same with someone that abuses alcohol.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, they just don't, number one, they don't want to quit for several reasons, but
Yes.
number two, because they don't want to face the whole
That's an
withdrawal.
addiction.
It's exactly. And so my point is, I think we will gather a whole lot more people if we do this rather than do this.
Right.
Yeah.
And having empathy and understanding and compassion. In my 7 years as an addiction counselor, dealt with some very, very ill kids. And I've never met one addict that planned on becoming addicted. Right. But it happens all the time. And it's a very cutthroat, dark, evil business that does not care about humanity. They care about the bottom dollar. They care about making money.
I've lost a family member from drugs. I mean, and I know there's probably several people, within the community that either know someone that's on drugs.
Absolutely.
Or
I go in schools and I say,
tough.
how many of you guys know someone's got an addiction problem? Every hand goes up in the classroom. They all are touched by it. It's kind of like cancer. It is pervasive, and it's my concern, and this is an opinion, but my concern with adolescents, and I'm an adolescent specialist, is that nothing is wrong anymore. There is no moral compass. Everything, hey, if you smoke weed, it's okay. And I'm like, there's got to be a time when we come back to some type of morality that there's right and wrong. There's things that are good and healthy and things that are not. And with kids, especially marijuana, I mean, it's, and I'm so glad Indiana's stance on it as far as not legalizing. I appreciate our legislators and their insight. But it's just what I do. It's like playing baseball, go bowling, go to a movie, smoke weed.
That's tough.
It is.
You smell it a lot more. You can definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere, you can smell it if, you pull up next to a car.
What's doing over there?
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
Well, and again, it's become normative behavior, and I think there's something intrinsically wrong when we accept that and say, it's just what kids do. No, it's not.
Yeah.
What
Brain development. Aren't we worried about that?
Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother issue we could get into. But I talk to kids, and I'm like, is life really so bad that you have to put a foreign substance into your brain it changes how your brain works to enjoy life
for a brief time?
Yeah, but that's it's not a pseudo spiritual experience. It's not it's changing the literal chemistry of the brain. What we know about marijuana and what it does to the developing out of the brain, and all the research recently has shown that the prefrontal cortex, which is the CEO of the brain, does not develop until the age of 25, maybe even 28 now. And so all professionals in that area are saying, plead with kids not to smoke weed when they're kids.
With men, I think sometimes that brain development that's actually, I think it does take a little bit longer.
I'm living proof of that. No, that's absolutely true.
I think just a smidge it does. But that
was really funny, by the way. That was really good.
We were talking about, that was getting pretty serious, but
no, that was good.
This is very serious business. It absolutely
is. It is.
You talk about brain development. You talk about, like you said, putting those chemicals into your body.
Well, and one of the pieces of data that comes out is that a chronic marijuana smoker, a kid that smokes marijuana 3 to 7 times a week, loses by the time they're 21 10 points of their IQ.
Really?
My goodness.
10 points of IQ.
Can we tell the adults that?
Yeah, I mean, you think about that. I don't know about you guys. I don't have 10 points to spare. And it's like, wow, how can you? And you deal with people, and we all have people that chronically smoke weed. It's kind of like knock, knock, knock. There's nobody home. It takes them a second. They're kind of like, and the effects of it are very, very apparent. But and one of the things that just tickles me, it's talked about as a asset to help people who are struggling with cancer or pain. I'm like, well, yeah, because you're high. Yeah. You don't know you're sick because you're stinking high. That's what it does. It doesn't deal with any of the...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever on that, but like,
I mean, CBD has been...
kids aren't still supposed to do that. Yeah.
And the CBD chemicals have been found to do one thing, and that's to help children who have epilepsy seizures.
That's right.
Other than that, there's no clinical proof that it does anything.
And they don't recommend that for adults. I know, because I have epilepsy. Not that they don't recommend it, but they don't recommend it.
Sure.
I mean, it's not one way, it's not the other when it comes to CBD.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything that you can say or do that would change all of this? I mean, you can sit here and you can talk about it and you can hope that you reach one person.
Sure.
You want to reach a ton, but if you reach one person, that is a step in the right direction.
I'm 67. I'm a modernist. I'm not a postmodernist. So I'm a linear thinker. I'm didactic. I'm black and white kind of thing. And I'm always looking for a silver bullet. And to answer your question, I believe it's parents.
Yeah.
I believe it's moms and dads. I think it's moms and dads pouring into kids. I mean, for me personally, I have 3 children. I was the pastor at Crossroads Community Church. I had a student ministry of 600 kids. Busy guy. I missed one of my kids' athletic events in their entire career. Softball, baseball, volleyball, basketball, all the sport. Because God gave me my kids for me to raise. And I was going to be there for them. And I think that we think by throwing stuff at our kids, and we're in a rather affluent community. We're not a really impoverished community. I think by throwing stuff at kids, they think that's love. And what I know, I've worked with kids for almost 5 decades, is love is spelled T-I-M-E with kids. And I think if to answer your question succinctly, the silver bullet's parents. And every social service organization is scratching their head how to reach parents. You do a parents' night, and the parents that come out are the great parents that don't need to be there. The ones who need to be there won't come. So it's incredibly maddening and frustrating, and you can't delegate it, you can't legislate it, you can't mandate it.
Right.
But that would be my answer. I think parents are the key. They're the key.
Okay, so what if, maybe you don't have kids still at home. What's something that we can do to help encourage forward?
I think a real simple thing is to have a meal together every day. Sit at the table, talk. What's going on? What's happening in your world? What did you have for lunch? How was school? What did you learn? What didn't you learn? How are your friends doing? Have dialogue with your kids. I mean, spend significant amount of time. I was of the belief when my kids were small that I would create teachable moments. And I would create teachable moments by time. So when I would go to the hardware store, hey, Jeremy, come with me. Jump in the car. Yeah. He's a little bitty guy. Jump in the car. Just all kinds of different things like that. So I remember one time I was out in the garage when we were working, and I got a bandana in my pocket because sawdust makes me sneezy. And I look around, he's standing behind me in his jeans with a bandana in his pocket. I'm like, oh, you got it. So, I mean, that element of time, and we all have 24/7, 365, I get it, but it is so incredibly valuable. And you guys know, if you have children or not, but I mean, you don't get 18 years and they're gone.
Right.
And I never read the contract that said they leave and never come back. I'm like, wait a minute, nobody told me that. They didn't come back. They got married, had their own families, and went away. But I think the element of just being invested in your kids and knowing that they matter to you and knowing that they are, I mean, outside of my wife, there's no one more important to me than my children.
I remember as a kid growing up, I mean, we all sat down and had our family
Absolutely.
meals every single night.
Absolutely.
And my mom cooked.
Yep.
And we grew our own, all of our own food.
And you know, when we say
canned
that,
it
we sound old. We sound like we're old. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
No,
old.
that's not an age variant. That's a fact that if you
Right.
do that with your kids, I don't care if you're 60 or 21, sit down and have a meal with your family.
That's when all the discussion came
Absolutely.
out.
I mean,
About
I
everything.
can remember sitting at the dinner table on a Sunday with my family, and my daughter punked on me for the first time. And she's like, "Is he going to be mad at me?" You know? And then we all laughed. It was really funny. It was like, "Can I make fun of Dad? And is that okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're good. We're good to go. You didn't cross a boundary. It's okay." But yeah, those kind of moments. I mean, we have Sunday meal every week now.
We used to do that
too.
all the time. I mean, even when we were all grown and
Yeah.
had left the house, we always
My
went back
daughter,
on
my
Sundays.
son-in-law, my
Yeah.
two grandchildren are at our kitchen table every Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
for a meal, and we laugh and make fun of each other and have a hoot, and it's incredibly bonding.
It is. It is.
is.
It's like
It really
some of the best moments.
Oh
we
yeah,
shared.
absolutely.
I mean, we talked about all the things that we used to do as kids growing up when my parents were both working, and some of them I'm not going to share because we were so mean to our sister. She deserved it, by the way, dear listener.
I bet she does. I bet she did. That's for sure.
But I mean, we bonded. I mean, we did
Absolutely.
everything together. We went to all of the sporting events. We did
we went on vacation together.
vacation. We vacationed. I mean, got in the car, figured it out.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
the way.
Didn't have Google Maps and got a piece
No.
of paper.
right.
Can fold it back up. Oh yeah.
It was just great family time, and then you were honest. You did tell everything that went on, and if you didn't tell it all, it caught up with you later
but
on.
you told it all because there was a relationship.
Yeah, there
And
was.
because there was trust, and they cared about you, and they could tell you anything. I mean, I people talk about the worst thing that happened to your kid, they died. I think the worst thing that happened to my kid was they'd be raped. You have to live with that and deal with that. Well, we're gonna. I tell my kids, listen, there's nothing we can't get through, but I got to know it.
Right.
We can get through anything.
So we can do it together.
That's exactly right. But you got to tell me. If you don't tell me, then I can't help you.
right.
And speaking of telling you, if your kids maybe have confided in you with something like that, hey, maybe I have tried vaping before, or maybe I have tried these other things. What can you do for us on an individual basis? Is this something we as parents can come to you and say, "What do I do?
Sure,
Help me."
Absolutely. I think that when that happens, that's an incredible opportunity to stand up and be counted and strike for the moment. Because, I mean, the first thing I would ask them, I said, "Okay, I got you. At being a current person, I can't throw a stone at things. I did stupid all kinds of time when I was their age. But what were you looking for? What were you looking for?" Then the next question, did you find it? And the answer is usually no. So then it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So you just learned that doing this behavior doesn't work. So for me, I'm a really simple guy. You guys all use Microsoft Word, right? And when you push file, all those options come down. I have one of those in my life. It's called Life Options. I push file, getting high. It's not on there. Why? Because it doesn't work. If it worked, President Trump would be burnt all the time. But he's not, because it doesn't work. It doesn't give you what you're looking for. It doesn't give you true heart, sincere happiness. It doesn't provide peace and joy and love. It's a pseudo remedy for the very thing. And what I talk to people all the time, and this is something very helpful, is that people that are using substances, they're looking for the same thing we have. They're just looking in the wrong place. And they just need a short course adjustment on the rudder of their ship to begin to, steer it this way. This is where there's life and there's answers.
Yep.
And do you think a lot of people do that just so that they can hide what's really going on with them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think most of the data says that 80% of people who are addicted have also a mental health diagnosis.
Yeah.
So there's tons of self-medication, tons and tons of people self-medicating.
Yeah.
It's a big issue.
It's massive. It really is.
Hug your children, love
Absolutely.
them, hold them tighter, spend that
Absolutely.
family time with them. And then, if you know someone that's going through this, then there's resources out there
absolutely.
that can help you. So you can see
Our community
things-
is inundated with recovery facilities and
Right.
people, and we've got tons of great people doing great work in our community.
So where should we reach out first if we're having
You can
questions
give
like this?
me a call. Absolutely. Call Drug Free Howard County at Family Service Association, 557-9313, and I will be happy to serve you in any capacity I can.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Keep
all
up the
you're
great work. We
doing.
appreciate
Oh,
all
man,
you're
my
doing.
privilege. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. Very honored.
Yeah,
Happy
we
to have you.
appreciate you.
Okay,
Thanks,
you.
Rob. Again, Rob Pruett from Drug Free Howard County joining us today. I'm Jessica. This is Kim. We're from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. Thanks so much for watching The Ripple Effect.